Dan here from Red Devils TV and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United beat Liverpool 2-1. What a performance that was. Some people are going to say that United got lucky. I would say it was a dominating performance. Liverpool were out for the count and it could have been 2 or 3-0 to Manchester United before Liverpool even reacted. For me, it was quite lucky they actually stayed into the game as long as they did. They got the equaliser, but Manchester United, which we've criticised with them so much on this channel and so many media outlets and other channels as well, criticised it for the mentality of this team. And what happened? Liverpool got the equaliser and Manchester United fought back and got the winner. This is what we want to be seeing as fans, and I am recording this on the Tuesday. I was away for the weekend. I've just not had time to record my match reaction. So I am doing this now, so it'll probably go out Wednesday. But anyway, let's just talk about the game. And we will talk a little bit about the upcoming Brighton game as well and what it means for Ruben Amorim's future. But anyway, before we get into the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you are new, and comment down below your thoughts on the match against Liverpool. First of all, I want to give a huge appreciation post, or should I say comment, to Senne Lammens. Now, the fact is that after the Sunderland game, everyone was saying got clean sheet against Sunderland, Irish Michael Indesa guys, but we were all thinking, is Ruben Amorim going to drop him for Biendia? I mean, I don't know if that was just me, but I definitely thought about it because Liverpool at Anfield is a very intimidating task. But Senne Lammens started. He is now guaranteed to be United's starting goalkeeper for me, no matter what. If Biendia starts, it'll be either for rotation or you could say when you get into a smaller team, maybe. But with United's lack of competition with the Carabao Cup, maybe you'll see Biendia in the odd FA Cup game, but we'll have to see. But Senne Lammens has now established himself as Manchester United's first choice goalkeeper. I absolutely love him already. I just love how he makes the basics look so easy. And when you've had so much trauma with Onana and Biendia over the last few years, it's refreshing to see. And with Lammens, I feel like that the fact that United fans are now not coming away from each game. Now, I know it's only been 2 games, but the fact we're not talking about our goalkeeper making mistakes or talking about this goalkeeper does this, does that, does this. Senne Lammens has technically won us 2 games now. The saves that he made against Sunderland were class. The claims he made against Sunderland and Liverpool were class. And a lot of people are criticising Isak for the shot that he did at Senne Lammens when he was through one-on-one. That was brilliant goalkeeping distribution. Not distribution, goalkeeping ability, should I say. And the fact that he used his feet, made himself look big, and didn't give Isak much of a choice. So Isak hit it hard and low, and Senne Lammens still saves it with his foot. Honestly, you can just see as well, it's actually bringing a positive mentality and positive performance to the back line as well, because the back line look a lot more confident and they look like they're just focusing forward at all times. They're not checking over the shoulder to make sure that, we could say, when it used to be Onana, making mistakes or picking his nose or putting Vaseline on his bloody goalie gloves. Senne Lammens is the real deal, and I generally can't wait to see more of him. My second one, and this would be my personal man of the match, Bryan Mbeumo. Honestly, what a sign he's looking like. I remember when Bruno Fernandes said last season that I'm honoured to be player of the season again, but I'm hoping next season it's not me again. And obviously, Bruno's been class for us for the last, nearly 5 years, 6 years, however long he's been at the club for now. But he's right. The fact that he's basically the player of the year every single year, he wants to see another player step up. And the fact is, you've got Matheus Cunha, who I'm going to talk about in a moment. Bryan Mbeumo's looking brilliant. You've also got Senne Lammens as well. Obviously, they're just the new signings, as well as Šeško. He's looking like he's doing it a lot better. Mason Mount is in really good form. Genuine, and Matthijs de Ligt as well. There are more players that you can give credit to, but for me, they're the main standouts at the moment this season. And you can look at it and be like, you know what, United's player of the season so far, for me, I'd say it's either Bryan Mbeumo or Matthijs de Ligt. And the fact is that you've got players now stepping up, raising levels, and that's going to allow Manchester United to win more games. But Bryan Mbeumo, that goal was brilliant. Honestly, the fact that he got fouled or was down with the Van Dijk header when he injured McAllister. The fact that Bryan Mbeumo got down and Van Dijk was jogging back, Bryan Mbeumo saw the gap between him and Konate. Amad Diallo with a beautiful incisive pass, and Bryan Mbeumo just found the space, smashed it past the keeper, and it's unsavable, and you're up 1-0 within the first 2 minutes. Like, I said to my fiance before the game that, honestly, because she said to me, are you confident? I went, no, I'm not confident. I am not confident in the slightest against Liverpool. I never am. Same with City as well. But when it came to that, I said the best thing we can do right now is if you look back to Ruben Amorim's first game in charge against Ipswich, we scored in like the first minute. If we can get an early goal in the first 5 minutes, shut up Anfield while they're in the midway of singing You Never Walk Alone, that crowd will just die. And then there'll become more frustration because then technically they're losing 4 in a row. And actually they went on to lose 4 in a row. So no doubt pressure is building on Slot. A lot of Liverpool fans I've seen on social media are saying get him out of the club because he's actually made Liverpool worse. And I used the analogy on Total Sport a few weeks ago, and last week, they asked me about the Liverpool preview, and I turned around and said that Arne Slot seems like he's a decent manager. All right, you can't be a crap manager if you don't win the league. Okay. But at the same time, Jurgen Klopp, this is the analogy I used, Jurgen Klopp left him a fully functioning, perfect working machine, right? What did Arne Slot go and do? He went, oh, I'll change this gear, I'll change this nut and bolt, I'll do this and do this and do this. And the perfect working machine that was a title contending winning side is won with the first title. That was Klopp's team. All that Slot did was add an injury-prone Chiesa who barely featured for Liverpool last season. But what's happened is that this season, they've brought in a load of players that, in my opinion, they don't actually really need. And he's just messed them up completely. Now you've got very expensive signings that are going to need to play because the board will demand it. I can say this from experience from Manchester United. You can look at the likes of Alexis Sanchez, Paul Pogba, Antony. You know, who else can you say? There's loads of players over the years that haven't been good enough for Manchester United. But because they've cost a load, you've got to include them. And I think the same's going to happen for Liverpool. And if Liverpool have a downfall, I'm not going to be sitting there crying for them. I'm going to be rubbing my hands together. Because the fact that United now have beaten Liverpool, what are we? Is it 2 or 3 points behind top 4 now? Like, if we somehow beat Brighton, that is going to be an incredible boost for Ruben Amorim. And I'm not going to get carried away and say that with Ruben Amorim, winning against Liverpool is the turning point. It's too early to say that. I back Ruben Amorim no matter what, like I do with every manager. However, for many of the fans that have criticised him over the last few months or since the start of this season because we finished 15th and lost the Europa League final, they have the right to have that opinion. But at the same time, your opinion can change, especially in the sport of football, which we all love. Opinions can change. And I generally think if United can go on to win 3 in a row and they beat a team like Brighton, who are in really good form at the moment, by the way. They beat Newcastle last week. They beat City a few weeks ago as well. If we somehow beat them, I can guarantee you the mood of the fans will just raise and everyone will be on board again, because then you're proving you can beat these teams that you struggled against last season, and that's how fans see improvement. Yeah, this season we should be a lot better. We should be 2 points above of what we should be right now. The Brentford game was a disgrace. We shouldn't have lost 3-1. That player should have got sent off. Was it Nathan Collins or someone like that? He should have got sent off. Bruno Fernandes should have scored his penalty. Let's be honest. And you never know. United against 10 men could have won that game 3-2. And you've got another 2 points there. So realistically, for me, I'm very frustrated. And you can even say with the Fulham game as well, with Bruno missing another penalty. So realistically, you could say that there's actually, 5 points, or 6 points, should I say, that we've missed out on. And then lousy 6 points, I can't think. 4 points it is, because we drew with Fulham, didn't we? But realistically, if we got them 4 points, we would be in the top 4. We would be actually considered as the title challengers, technically, with the way that that position is. It's going to be a very competitive league, and I feel like Arsenal are definitely the favourites. I personally back City, not out of choice, just out of, you could say, trauma, basically, with how many times they've dominated a league. And Pep Guardiola was no joke. They've got the best striker in the world in Erling Haaland. I really like Haaland. I don't want to like him, but I've liked him since he played for Salzburg. I've liked him since he played for Dortmund, and the fact that he plays for Man City absolutely pains me. And they've also got the best goalkeeper in the world in Donnarumma. I don't care what anyone says, it's my personal opinion. Donnarumma is the best goalkeeper in the world, in my personal opinion. But, yeah, What does it mean for Brighton? Obviously, for Ruben Amorim, he does coach a win, that would be brilliant, because then the fans will definitely get on board. What does it mean for the players? It means that the players can, you could say, it could raise confidence, I guess is the thing you could say. But I just think that when you've got, with the way we're playing at the moment, we're adjusting each game, and the media are so obsessed with this back three, back five formation, whatever, and they like to just belittle it and put it down like it's just a useless tactic and formation. Against Ruben Amorim, he chose not to start Benjamin Sesko, that Arne Slot actually moaned about, funny enough, after the game. But he adjusted it because he knew, with aerial dominating centre-backs for the likes of Van Dijk and Konate, he knew that if I start Benjamin Sesko, both of them are going to gang up on him and it's going to be curtains for him. So let me start Bryan Mbeumo, Cunha and Mason Mount. 3 forwards that aren't very tall, aren't very aerially dominant, and will win the second balls. And that's how we scored our first goal. I'm pretty sure it's how we actually got the set piece for our second goal as well. So the fact that he's tactically adjusting to each game, that's what a good manager does. I'm not just going to sit here and say he's a great manager. I really like him as a person. I really like him as a coach. And a lot of people will say, where's the evidence? My evidence is being a Manchester United fan. My evidence is there for being that no matter what, I will always back the players. I'll always back the manager. I might slag them off after a game if they play poorly. But guess what? Next game, clean slate, and let's go from there. And if they keep making mistakes, that's when your opinion starts to form of them being a bad player in your opinion. But that's just the way I view football. But like I said, I will make a Brighton preview later in the week. That'll probably be around Thursday, so I'll probably go out Friday. But yeah, I'm recording this on the Tuesday, so yeah, I just feel like that, what a performance that was. Bruno Fernandes as well for that assist was ace. Matheus de Ligt just looked like the best centre-back on the pitch. Yes, Van Dijk and Konate were both on the pitch, funny enough. And Harry Maguire, we've not even mentioned him. Everyone said the redemption arc of Harry Maguire. But realistically, it has got to be addressed. The fact that this guy was a meme for so many years at Manchester United under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer period, stripped of the captaincy by Erik ten Hag, and he's basically now a cult hero for Manchester United. The goal against Lyon, the multiple winners and equalisers scored for us in the Champions League when we were actually in that competition, getting us them crucial points that have helped us over the years. He is a very good centre-back, and obviously, there's talks about him getting a contract extension. For me, I would definitely give him a 2-year contract extension because like Jonny Evans was for us, last season or the year before, you kind of need them experienced players who can play the odd game. And expecting Harry Maguire to play every game is obviously not the right thing to do because, like the Brentford game, he does get caught out at times for pace, and when you try to play a high line, it is very difficult to play with Harry Maguire. But that leadership, that experience is what you need in your dressing room. Why do you think so many clubs have so many old goalkeepers in the club and in around the club? We've got it with Tom Heaton. I think City had it with Scott Carson. So realistically, it's a very normal thing to have older experienced players to help nurture younger players when you're trying to do a rebuild. And when United are in a rebuild and a transition like this, when we've got so many amazing youth talent in our academy, having players like Harry Maguire, Tom Heaton, Jonny Evans, obviously, who's now not with us, but they're really important for the culture. And that's what something Ruben Amorim really talked about resetting the culture at Manchester United. And players like Harry Maguire will definitely improve that. And obviously, he's a decent player as well, which is definitely a bonus. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way we're performing at the moment. That's 2 wins in a row, the first time Ruben Amorim's done it in the Premier League. And I'm excited for the future. I generally think that if we do beat Brighton, I've always said it, that will be the turning point for Ruben Amorim. And it will get the media off his back. It will maybe change a lot of fans' opinions of him. And yeah, hopefully we can beat the Seagulls because they are in good form at the moment and they're a bit of a bogey team for us. So we'll see how it goes. I hope to look forward to seeing you in the preview. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.